directions for 45 said, find the slope of each side of the figure. All right, so I'm only going to do this for one side because you guys can then figure it out for the rest of them. The key to these graphs is, everyone's eyes on the board, is you making sure that when you transfer it to your homework, that you transfer it correctly. Okay, so let's look at JM. Slope is rise over run. So I'm going to start at M. I'm going to start right here. To go to J, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So my rise for this one is 4, and it's to the right 1, 2. So I went up, which is positive 4. I went to the right, which is positive 2, and this simplifies to 2. So MJ or JM, our slope is 2. If I looked at JK, someone tell me, let's start at K. What am I going to do from K vertically to get to J? What would be my rise to get from K to J? I'm starting here, I'm going up and then over. Nick, I'm starting at K, I need to go up and over to go to J. How much am I going up? Up 2, so this is 2, and then what am I doing? Do I have to go left or right? Nick? Well, don't I need to go here? Okay, isn't that left? Okay, so that's negative, right? How many spaces did I have to go to get from right here to my J? 1, 2, 3, 4. So my run is a negative 4. So if I simplify that, that's a negative 1/2. That's what I should have seen for all of those. So in your homework right now, you're making that adjustment to your homework because all of you should have already graphed that shape onto your coordinate plane, and now you're showing that work. So I should see everybody on number 45 in their homework. Jack? Number 45 in your homework, because everyone should have drawn this shape. Christian, you're looking at this, and you're doing your rise and your run. Yes, Ryan. So we're using the 2 points in the graph to show that we have to go up or down a certain amount, and then left or right a certain amount. All right, and then you can do the rest of them for the other 2 lines. Okay? All right, let's take a look at, God bless you, let's take a look at number 42. The key to 42 is kind of understanding what they're talking about. All right, so what they say is we have a ladder that's going to rest against the side of a building. So I'm just going to draw what I have here. Here's my building. Here's the ground. They tell me that the ladder must be more than 5 feet from the base of the building. All right, so I'm just going to count feet here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is 5 feet from the base of the building. They say to us if we have a 12-foot ladder, because that's what they asked us for first, we want to find the greatest slope. Well, let's talk about slope. We've talked about this before. Here's my ladder. Everyone's eyes on the board. Here's my ladder. If my ladder, the base of my ladder goes away from the edge of the building, what happens to my slope? Everyone sit up to their desks. Here's my ladder. As my ladder, the base of my ladder goes further out from the base of the building, what happens to my slope? Christian? It decreases. As I get my base of my ladder closer to the building, what happens to my slope? Melissa? It increases. So, we know the base of my ladder can't be any closer than 5 feet to the building. So where does the base of my ladder have to be that I'm going to have the biggest slope? Where does the base of my ladder have to be so I have the biggest slope? The closest my ladder can be to the base of the building is 5 feet. So, where do I want the base of my ladder to be so I have the greatest slope? Abby? Can it be exactly 5 feet? It can be. Don't I want the base of my ladder at 5 feet? Absolutely. I want the base of my ladder right there. That's the closest it can get to my building, and it's going to give me the biggest slope. Because the further I get away from the building, my slope, as Christian says, decreases. So this is when we're going to have the greatest slope. So now I have to go up 12 feet on the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here is my 12-foot ladder. It's going to go, or my ladder, it's going to go up 12 feet on the wall. And now I find out that slope. All right, and then you can do the same thing with 18. Okay, all right, I need to move on. 53, I'm not going to give you that on a test, but I would give you 49 or 51. All right, we did those in our homework yesterday, our notes yesterday. All right, put this away, get your notes out. I want to start first with graphing when you're given a slope and you're given a line, a point, and then we're going to move on to 6.2. So today is 3.5. I want to graph a line given the slope and a point on the line. That's what I want to start with. You guys all need your rulers this entire chapter, so make sure you have your rulers out. All right, so I'm going to do an example to the left with some steps off to the right. So this one was in your homework last night. You guys had, did you guys have one of these? 30, well, you didn't have any graphing, did you? Did I give you graphing? Thank you. This is going to be number 37. I was looking at the wrong section. So this is going to be 37. All right, so this is when we have the point 5, 2, and we have our slope is negative 1/2. Put the negative on the numerator or the denominator. It doesn't matter which one, as long as one of them gets the negative. All right, so what you're going to do first is you're going to draw your coordinate plane. You're going to draw your coordinate plane. So the next thing you're going to do once you do that, put some increments on there, get arrows on there, get your X and Y's on there. What you're going to do is I want you to graph the given point. So you're going to start by graphing that given point. Alright, so 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up 2. So there is 5, 2. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use slope to find 2 more points. Remember, your slope is rise over run. So for us here, it's negative 1 over 2. So, I'm going to do this in red. I have to see this work. So I'm going to start at this point. I'm going to go down 1, because there's my rise of -1, to the right 2. There's my first point. I have to see this slope work. That slope work is required. Someone tell me what to do from my new point to get another one. So I'm going to start here. I need another point. Kaylee? Okay, here's my slope. What am I going to do? So go down 1. And there's my second point. So there are all 3 points. That's it. Yes? Same way I found the first one. So you start with your given point. My slope is rise over run, and for us it's -1 over 2. So -1 means that I went down 1 to the right 2. That's my -1/2 is my slope. I did exactly the same thing another time. Down 1 to the right 2. No. Because I want 3 points total. Put it over there. Because I want 3 points total. I want your given point and 2 more that you found for your slope. Okay? You guys cool with that? Okay. Let's talk about slope-intercept form. So we're jumping to 6.2. All right, we're going to be talking about slope-intercept form. We are going to be talking about slope-intercept form. All right, these are linear. We're starting our linear equations. The first type of linear equation is called slope-intercept form. That's what we're going to be talking about today. The second form is called point-slope form. The third one is called standard form. We will get to each of these individually. We're just going to start with slope-intercept form first. Okay. Who needs to see what's up there? Okay. Let's talk about slope-intercept form. You guys cool? Yeah, awesome. So slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. That is slope-intercept form. There's your slope. All right, your slope is your coefficient of x.
Teachers and students, please pardon the interruption. Just a reminder, there is a non-uniform day tomorrow. Please bring in $2 to help support March's Reading Month. Please keep the Henry Bullschneider family in your prayers, as Father Dennis, a former St. Hugo student who runs DePaul University's father, is not doing well, so please keep them in your prayers. At this time, would 2 6th grade students come down to the office for notes? I'd like to wish a happy birthday today to Eden Bada in the 4th grade, Christiana Ficori in the 7th grade, Marco Bean in the 4th grade, and Sully Smith in the 5th grade. Happy birthday today, Aiden, Christiana, Mark, and Sully. today, after today, on Thursdays, we will have some big weight garbage bags to put the materials in. But for today, we would like students to come all the way down to the blue awning to walk over to recycle. Those are your announcements for this Thursday. Have a terrific rest of your Thursday. Thank you.
Okay, so when we talk about slope-intercept form, this is slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. That's the format for it. Here's your slope. I'm hoping all of you noticed that. The slope is always your coefficient of your x. Your y-intercept. Y-intercept means this is where the line crosses the y-axis. That is what your y-intercept means. It's where your line crosses the y-axis. Every single y-intercept has 0 as its x term, because I haven't gone left or right away from the origin. Alright, so this is what slope-intercept form looks like. I have an example here for you. Y equals 3x plus 1. This is a slope-intercept form. We can see our slope is 3. Oopsie, this should be a 3, not a 1. Our slope is 3, because that's our coefficient of our x. That plus 1, well, that constant that's being added to our x term, that is our y-intercept. And our y-intercept is 0, comma b. That is our b value. So that is the y part of the y-intercept. All right, so I'm going to give us an equation, and I want you to tell me what is the slope, what is the y-intercept. Questions so far? Okay, so if I give you this equation, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. What is my slope? What is my y-intercept? Remember, my y-intercept is always 0, comma something. Christian, what's my slope? Excellent. What's my y-intercept? Excellent. Now tomorrow in your homework, they're simply going to say 5. Because they're thinking the y-intercept is just your b value. I want you thinking of it as a coordinate point. So write it as a coordinate point, please. Okay? In the homework tomorrow, when they identify it, they're going to give your slope first and then your y-intercept. Because they'll do like negative 1/2 semicolon 5. All right, that 5 means it should be this. 0, comma 5. Okay? All right, let me give you one more, and then I'm going to have us write them if I give them to you. So let's say I have y equals 2x minus 3. Remember, my slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So when I have subtraction, what should I do with my subtraction? Drew? Do adding the opposite. Now all of you tell me, what is my slope? What is my y-intercept? So someone tell me, what's my slope? What's my y-intercept? Melissa? Not just negative 3. Remember, it's a whole coordinate point. Excellent. 0, negative 3. How many of you guys are cool identifying these? I'm not done. Nick? Always. Because everywhere on my x-axis, the y part of those coordinate points are always 0 on my y-axis. Hi. This is my daughter, Mackenzie. No, listen, I'm just almost done. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you guys to write an equation if I give you slope and your y-intercept. So I want you to write a slope-intercept equation. When given slope and the y-intercept. All right, so here's my first one. Let's say my slope, someone give me a slope. Melissa? 7. Somebody give me my y-intercept. Now they're going to probably say the y-intercept is 6. But I do want you recognizing that's a coordinate point 0, comma 6. Someone tell me, I don't care what your y-intercept is. Nick? So 0, 5. All of you write an equation for that in slope-intercept form, please. Start with y equals mx plus b, always. So write the formula, then fill it in. Nick, what'd you get? Excellent. All right, someone give me another one. This time give me some negative numbers. Kaylee. Yeah. You're so creative. I'm really impressed by your creativity. That's all right. So y equals mx plus b. Somebody write my equation for me. Lily? Yep. In your book tomorrow, they're probably going to write this. Y equals negative 7x minus 5. I will take either one of those. Okay, Christian? How am I solving anything? I have two variables. All I'm looking to do is write the equation of the line that has a slope of that and has that as its y-intercept. Are you cool? All right, you guys can boogie.